Good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday. Good morning. I see some waves. Good morning. Good morning. It's so good to be here. And I woke up this morning and the sun was just shining in. And I just took a breath and just was so grateful. As you can see, it's in the window behind me. I do have a film over the windows though, so that nobody can see in from outside, because our neighbors will be in the backyard. But that's okay. I just wanted to say that I'm really happy to be here this morning, and I don't know what happened today. I woke up and I was extra happy, and I don't know what it is. I hope you're feeling the same, at least because of the sunlight. As always, I've got a trusty cup of tea, lemon zinger. You know that I'm always telling you what's in my cup. Grab your water, grab your coffee, grab your tea. This one, I'm not sure I can say that word, so I'll just say it's a fine morning, and I'll put this up close.
Beaver damn fine. You're fine.
There you go. It's a fine morning. There we go. I'm going to take a sip. Okay, so here we go. Just so that we understand, this is a gentle class, but sometimes even when we're moving our bodies with integrity and slowly, we might feel the intensity in the muscles a lot more than if we move really quickly. And that's really important because there's also a mindfulness component to this class where I want you to breathe and really notice the breath and notice the movements. And I did not coin the phrase, slow is the new advanced. That is from a teacher that I follow, and I've been a part of his online classes, called Jason Brown. From years ago, he was already doing things like this, and he coined that phrase. As far as I know, I don't know anyone else who's ever said it, but it is so true, and I like slow movements. So today, in that vein, we're going to follow along with another training that I've done in Soma Yoga from the Soma Yoga Institute in the United States. And one of my teachers, Molly, taught us how to do movements that are good for the body, that are so slow. We're going to do some of those this morning. And they're so good for the body. And they work on the brain and the muscles. And they work on stability first. So stability before flexibility, and mobility before flexibility, because I'm sure you want to be stable and mobile and maybe leave flexibility over here, right? We want to be stable and mobile for as many years as we can. So we're going to think about that this morning as we do a few movements that are not as big as some of the movements that we do. Here we go. Sitting with your feet planted firmly on the ground. You know how I like to get us started. I'm going to move from this chair here, and I'm going to go back here a little bit. I hope you can still hear me. My feet are down on the ground. I took one of the boys' socks. I thought, I like the red stripe. I'm wearing his socks. And by the way, I did that laundry for him, so I took a pair of his socks. And that's the way it's going today. I'm going to admit someone, whoops. I don't want someone not to be in. Okay, here we go. Feet down on the ground, heel to toe, all the way down. Sitting up nice and tall, allow your shoulders to relax. Take a breath in through the nose, sigh it out. It was cold when I got down here, and I don't like a cold neck. I'm in the basement. Breathe in through the nose. Sigh it out. Allow your shoulders to relax. Allow your back body to start to settle. Allow your feet to just press into the ground. Press your toes into the ground lightly. Press your heel into the ground so that it's almost as if your entire foot is suctioned onto the ground. So there's a light pressure. Breathe in and breathe out. You might feel it in your ankles. Breathe in first, breathe out slowly. Stay here 2 more breaths. I like to breathe in through the nose and gently out through the nose. But if that's not okay with you, breathing in or out through the nose and mouth, or mouth only, is completely all right. Notice the breath. Keep your feet pressing down, lightly down on the ground, heels and toes. Don't lift up your toes, don't lift up your heels. Let's take one more full breath here. Breathe in, hold the breath, pause at the top of your breath, and relax, sigh it out. Nice. Let's start moving our toes first. Lift up your toes. You'll notice that small little movement I did. Just a small movement. Lift your toes up. Keep breathing in and out. Inhale, breath, exhale. Don't move yet. I'm just going to make sure that anyone who wants to come in can come in. Keep those toes lifted. Keep them lifted. Yes. Now, inhale, breath. And as you exhale, plant your toes down. Inhale when you're ready. Lift the heels off the mat. Lift them up as high as you can. So knees moving upright. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Inhale breath, exhale breath. One more breath here. Knees are as high as they can be. Toes are planted firmly. All your toes pointed forward if you can. Exhale, lower down. Nice. Still sitting nice and tall. Now, we're going to start with those Soma Yoga movements, and they're going to be really small to start, okay? So here we go. Let's just take our hands forward. We do this sometimes. We're just going to do it a little bit differently today. And then I'm going to ask you to turn your palms up. Inhale, breath, exhale. Now, if that doesn't feel good extending your hands, it's okay to keep your arms alongside the body with your elbows bent, right? Breathe in, breathe out. Really gently, we're going to make today's fist. Not an intense fist. Roll the fingers in. Inhale, breath. Or exhale. Opposite breath, open up your hands gently. Do that 3 times, close your eyes. I'm going to inhale and roll my fingers as if I'm making a gentle fist. Exhale. Breathe in, move one direction with those fingers. Breathe out, move in the other direction. Let's just do 2 more. Inhaling as you move in one direction, really light and loose. Exhale as you move in the other. And then notice what's happening in your arms and your fingers. Nice. Extend your hands towards me when you're ready. Inhale, breath. Turn your palms towards me as if you were going to touch my palms. Reach forward. Inhale, breath. Exhale, pull back gently. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, forward. Move with your breath. Flow with the breath. Exhale. One more time. Really gently. Inhale, breath. And exhale. When you pull your arms in, hold for a moment. You'll notice that your elbows might be slightly behind you. Your collarbone, your chest and your heart are forward. Breathe in, breathe out. And then when you're ready, come to neutral position. Place your palms on your thighs again. And I'm going to come a little bit closer because you're not going to need to see my feet. I am pulling this chair with me this time. We're going to start today with our shoulders and do some really small movements that are so good, especially because over the last few weeks, I've been getting you to do bigger movements. But for those of you who might feel like, oh, my shoulders are sore just because of everyday life, and you need smaller movements to support the smaller muscles, let's do this. Inhale, breath. As you exhale, I'm just going to curl my shoulders just a little bit towards one another. And let go. Did you see how small that movement was? Maybe I should come closer. I think I should. Take a look at my shoulders. I'll turn to the side for you for a moment. I'm rolling my shoulders forward as if my shoulders want to touch each other. And as I exhale, I relax and come back to neutral position. Don't lift your arms with you. So if you're lifting up your arms, I know we do that sometimes. This time it's a lot less. Different muscles. Really slowly, just curve those shoulders forward. Breathe in. Breathe out. Stay here. Again, breathe in. And out. Exhale. Relax back into neutral position. It's such a small movement. Let's do it 2 more times. As you take a breath, in or out, it doesn't matter. Roll your shoulders gently towards one another. I can feel it more on my right side. So this is really important. Exhale, relax. I can feel the tension on my right side. Inhale, breath. I'm going to move a little bit less. I'm not going to roll in so much this time. And I'm going to stay here where I feel the tension and then relax and settle into the breath. And then very slowly guide my shoulder back to neutral. And that's how we start to give loving attention to some sore muscles, right? Not by overextending. Now, the opposite is what we're going to do. So this is what I don't want, so I'm going to show you first. Don't roll your shoulders back. We do that sometimes. Today, we're going to do just the opposite of what we just did. Small movement back where the shoulders roll back. Shoulder blades come together. Notice how small. Inhale, breath. Exhale, come back to neutral. And yet I can still feel the work in my back. Breathe in or out as you roll your shoulders gently back. On the opposite breath, I want you to come back to neutral. I want it to feel delicious and almost feel like you're not moving. Inhale, breath, close your eyes if it feels good. Roll the shoulders back just a little. Fill up the body with breath. On the opposite breath, whatever that is, relax the shoulders, relax the neck, relax everything in the upper part of the body. Let's do that again. Breathing in or out. I'm rolling the shoulders back. Gently come back to neutral. Believe it or not, I can feel a tweak in my back that wasn't there before. And this is what happens when we move slowly. We can really identify what's happening with our bodies. I now know that if I need to go pick something up today, like groceries or anything, or just picking up, moving furniture, I've got to be mindful of my right side. It's talking to me right now. So really important. Now here's what we're doing next with this. It's called an arch and flatten. In yoga, it would be called a cat and cow. We really arch and open, but in Soma yoga and this gentle kind of stretching movement, whatever you'd like to call it, it's called an arch and flatten. And it's going to look like this. I'm going to arch my back a little bit. Inhale. Very slowly come to neutral and flatten. But then I'm going to go a little further and I'm going to round my shoulders towards one another a little bit and come back to neutral again. You can join in whenever you'd like. Arch by bringing my shoulders gently together at the back. Breathe in, breathe out slowly. Come back to neutral. Shoulders want to touch now in the front. Come back to neutral. See how small that is. Arch and flatten, so I'm neutral, moving in the opposite direction, and flatten. Can you do that for me 3 more times with your breath? 1 breath is an inhale and an exhale. I'll do it with you, but I won't speak. And when you are ready, come back to your neutral position. See how that feels for a moment. I, for one, did not always love small, gentle movements. When I first decided to take this training, I knew that my body needed it, but my mind was saying, go for the harder things. And then I realized this was harder than anything I'd ever done in my entire life in terms of movement, because we can all do the big stuff, right? but to do the smaller stuff and support the smaller muscles is so much harder for me. Drop your arms alongside the body. We're going to continue with some of these practices. And this is what it's going to look like. I'm going to show you first. You see how I'm twisting and turning, nice and slow. Breathe in, move slowly in one direction. Breathe out. You can move in the other, or whatever pattern of breath you prefer. So if you feel like you need to move faster, ignore what I've said and move faster. This is so good for your torso, for your back, more your mid-back might feel it. Take your gaze from side to side only if you don't feel dizzy. If you feel dizzy, keep your gaze forward and just twist everything else. Now, sweeping movements, for those who want to do sweeping, take a look. Oh, you're getting your shoulders in if you feel like it, right? You just take your hands higher and you move a little bit more. So one hand goes up, the other hand goes down, one palm up, one palm down. Let's do 2 more of these. I'm going to bring my arms back down a little lower. Notice your breath. And when you're ready, allow your hands to relax alongside the body and then place your palms on your thighs, especially if your fingers are getting cold. Your hands might get a little cold. Now, I would like you to notice what's happening inside the body. So I can already feel a little bit of movement in my shoulders. If you're feeling like you need something a little bit more right away, let's do this. Inhale. Don't shrug as high as you normally would. Just take your shoulders halfway. Exhale, relax fully. Let your shoulders fall. Let your shoulder blades relax in the back. Inhale. Only go halfway today. Lift the shoulders up. Exhale. It's a compassionate program today. We're being kind to the body. Breathe in and breathe out. And yet these movements are no less important than the big ones. Breathe in and out. Nice. Are we ready? Let's take, if we can, options. Hand behind the head. I have my right hand behind my head. I'm just placing it at the base of my skull or on my neck. Now, if that doesn't feel good, please feel free to bring your hand to your heart, because this opening of the shoulder may not feel good for everybody. So you can just bring your hand here, okay? If it doesn't feel good. All I'm going to get you to do this time is to tip your head towards the right. So you're holding your head. So now what I want you to do, those of you who have your hand on the base of your head, I want you to drop your head into your hands as if you were holding your head up. It takes a little bit of movement for me to get that, because how do I drop my head into my hand and really let my arm take the weight of my head? It takes me a moment. And then we start to feel that in the shoulders, right? In the triceps and the biceps start to work. Your deltoid, which is the muscle up top here, might work. Breathe in, breathe out. Your scapula at the back might start to speak to you. All these things are good as long as you're not in pain. 2 more breaths. Breathe in and out. The weight of your head is in your palm, or you're just tipped over to the side slightly. Come out whenever you're ready and release. Relax that arm. That feeling you get is, those are your muscles, right? That lactic acid buildup. Your muscles are engaged. So breathe in, breathe out. And then when you're ready, opposite side, please feel free to go right ahead. So again, if you're having your hands on your heart, you're just leaning to the side and just letting yourself stay here. Alternatively, of course, you can place your hand to the back of the head. Now you've got to kind of figure out here, How do I let my head drop, the weight of my head fall into my arm or my hands so that I can feel maybe the starting of the release in the opposite shoulder. Breathe in, breathe out. You can move, you can shuffle, you can get yourself really organized here until you feel this is where it should be. You'll know there is no wrong placement. It's all good. If you'd like to close your eyes, you can. Just one more breath I've talked you through. And wonderful. Woo. See how that feels. Let's do some little shaking out a little bit, get some stuff flowing here. I think that's great. We need to do that. Okay. It's time for me to go back to the other seat. We've got to get the rest of our bodies moving. Now, today I decided that if anybody wants to stand up for a moment, I want you to be able to stand up. I looked back at one of the videos and I saw some participants standing up. So I want you to know if at any point in time there's a posture where you feel like I can do this standing up, stand up and do it. That's perfectly all right. You do not have to stay seated in your chair. One of the things I want to show you before we go any further, especially if you know that you're not walking as much as you used to because of the weather, and also just the climate that we're in, right? Where we're not supposed to be out and about as much right now. I like to hold on to the back of a chair, or I'm going to show you this. I like to just place my hands on a wall. And for support purposes, I want to make sure that I'm nice and sturdy and strong and nothing's behind me. I take a step back. And one leg naturally will straighten, the other leg will have a bend. Okay, so I'm going to hold on to the chair and do something. You don't have to. I just want to show you something so that if you ever feel you're at the counter, in the kitchen, you're just in the house, make sure nothing's behind you. Take a step back. And we're still holding on to the chair for support. If you know you have accessibility concerns and you cannot stand at this moment, stay seated. Okay, I will show you something else. Back leg is straight. Front leg has a little bit of a bend. We're just really just lengthening through that straight leg. It will feel good to have it a little bit straighter. Don't lock your knee. And then step forward and then step back with the other. And just lengthen, straighten that back leg so that it gets a little bit of lengthening here. Did you notice how I'm not doing anything abnormal? Nothing that's going to get you in trouble. Just make sure there's nothing behind you when you step back, of course. And then you come back and you stand again. Okay, really simple. If you can, the other thing I want you to start doing is, look at how I did this. I literally just took my right leg back and placed my toe down. I didn't lift up my leg and I didn't lean forward. Your leg will tell you how far back you can go, and then bring it in, and then do the same thing with the other side and bring it back. Okay? Do that a couple of times. It's good for the hips. We're not going out of joint for the hips. We're not lifting up. So anyone with a hip replacement, you know, will still be able to take a small step. Okay? And making sure that you're either holding onto your chair or the wall. And then just standing. And it's nice to stand. I do this all the time. I remember that age has nothing to do with whether you're doing a chair class. It has nothing to do with it. Chair classes are so wonderful. The support of a chair is good. I also will sometimes, I'll move beside my chair, okay? And I will lift and place my toe down in front of me. That's option one. Or lift and take my knee a little higher. I have the chair or the wall I can hold on to. Place my foot back down. You can just put your toe down in front of you, or you can lift. I see some people, yes, with their hands on the chair, off the chair, lifting. This is so good. for you. You determine how high, place your foot back down. Now, I'm going to get everyone to sit again. That's it. That's all I wanted to show you. We're going to start weaving in other movements with the chair slowly every week. I just want you to get a little comfortable. If you didn't stand, because not everybody is going to stand. Here are my glasses. Let me just see. If you didn't stand, I'm just going to switch this for a second. If you weren't standing and you were sitting, option to do this, okay? To extend your leg forward and place your foot down. I just wanted to see who was sitting or standing. I'm going to change the view back. Don't worry. I'm putting it back to speaker view. So here we go. I am extending my foot forward, right? The heel is down, the toes are up. Everybody can join in with this. Press your heel into the floor gently, but add a little bit more as if you were pressing your foot into the wall in front of you. And then bring it back. Let's do the other side. Extend the leg. So this is like the leg that was behind us, that was getting, when we stepped back, the leg that was straight. That's kind of what we're doing here. Really lengthening through that leg. Our hamstrings will get a little bit of a stretch, but definitely our calves will get a stretch. Breathe in, breathe out. Notice how we're not moving a lot, we're holding. This is what is so key. Stay here and just breathe. And then bring it back. Nice and easy. Now, here we go again. I'm going to get you to take your feet wide, sit back in your chair, hold on to the chair in front of you, hold on to your arms of your chair, or hands on hips. Now, for some of you, taking your feet this wide is more than enough for the inner groin. You might feel it in your hamstring. Some of you can go even wider, and that's fine. You have to find that spot that's comfortable for you. For me, this is comfortable for me today. I'm going to place my hands on my hips, and then I'm going to make sure that I feel that I'm not going to tip forward. So make sure your sits bones, your bottom is really down. Don't lift your bottom off the chair, but hinge at your hips forward slightly. Notice I didn't round my back. Just a little bit forward. You decide how much or how little. Look 2 to 3 feet in front of you, so you're not rounding. Breathe in, breathe out. Hold. You'll feel this in the inner groin, thighs, the quads. Inhale, lift and relax. That might have been a lot. Nice. Now from here, don't remove your feet yet from where they are, but instead lift up the left heel. Hands can still be on your hips or on your thigh or holding onto your chair. Left heel is lifted, lower it down. Right heel is lifted. Oh, I can feel it on my right side today. Breathe in, breathe out, and lower down. Now we're going to do the opposite. Lift up the toes on the left side. Doesn't have to be an intense lift. It can be a gentle lift. Lower down. And then the other side. Your ankles are getting a little bit of work here. But so are the Achilles when you lift up your toes, the back, that important muscle that goes along the back of your foot. Lower down. Nice. Heel toe your feet together and sits bones. I'm going to ask that you remove any excess that's underneath you and really sit nice and tall again. Relax the shoulders. And just notice what you're feeling in your thighs and your quads. So a soma practice, a somatic practice, really gets you noticing and becoming really aware of your breath and the movements, and they're not wild movements, as you'll notice. Let's take our hands up for a moment. We're going to do a little bit of something while we're here. Let's see what's happening as we take our hands and just place them over the head, maybe for some of you. And then coming back to cactus. But you don't have to do this, okay? You could stay here. Now, opposite hand in front. Do you remember what hand was in front? And then let go. Now this time, here's what we're going to do. We're going to interlace only our thumbs. Interlace your thumbs, so hook your thumbs onto one another, and a slight tug in the opposite direction. Your shoulders will get a little stretch. Breathe in, breathe out. One more breath here, and then coming back really nicely. Extend your hands all the way, reaching your fingertips in the opposite direction. If that feels strange in your arms or your fingers, lower your palms down. Nice. And then all the way. Ooh, relax those fingers, maybe wiggle them a little bit. Sometimes I feel a little bit of a weird sensation in my fingers. Let's do a side body movement here. Let me just admit, oh, Daniel got that person for us, thank you. I want you to place your right hand on your hip. And let's just take the opposite hand into cactus. We're not overreaching unless you want to today. That's a beautiful stretch. And just tip towards the elbow that is bent. Inhale, come back up. One more time. Tip towards the elbow that's bent. You'll feel this in the opposite arm, right? The arm that's lifted is where you might feel it. Maybe in your armpit. Inhale, breath. As you exhale, let's switch sides. Breathe in. I'm looking down. Breathe out. Breathe in. Come back to neutral. Let's tip over again, almost like a teapot. This is for your lower and mid back. Maybe your obliques, maybe the side body, the ribs. And then come down. We are done with any work in the arms today, but we're not done with the legs. And I love this movement. It's definitely a somatic movement, the next one. And I really would love for you to consider trying this. So once again, take your legs out. We brought them in to relax them. Take your legs apart from one another just a little bit or a lot. You're going to have to inch forward on your chair a bit though, because you are going to need a little bit of room. And I'm going to hold on to my chair, either the sides, the bottom, my thighs, because this is what's going to happen. I'm going to tip the right knee towards the left ankle. So you might have to move more to the edge of the chair, or not. You don't have to. Just tip your knee downwards. We're not forcing it. We're just moving it inwards. It's an inward rotation here, right, of the muscles in your thighs. Open up. Just that one side moves only. Same side. Tip it down. What is your thigh telling you? What is your hip telling you? Take a breath. Lift it up. Place your foot back down. Woo! I can feel it on that side. Same side. Breathe in. Breathe out. Really relax into the breath as you're doing this. Come back up slowly, just 4 times. I can feel it when I come back up. So you might as well. When you're ready, last one. Really slowly. Come back up. Plant that foot down. You know what's happening on the other side. Take a breath first. Relax first. Really settle in. Make sure you feel stable. I can feel the muscles in my thighs. They worked on that side. Breathe in. Really notice I'm not forcing this. I might stop here. I might go a little lower depending on who and what is happening in my body today. You can even close your eyes if you like. When you reverse the breath, or do the opposite breath, lift your leg up. Move with and flow with your breath. You might feel that in your hips, your quads. Breathe in, breathe out slowly. the work that is involved and the muscles that are working that are supporting your knee are a lot. Okay, when you're ready, if you need to do it one more time, great. If not, let's heel toe our feet back together and just sit. Sit back in your chair. Relax your back if you need to. So really support your back. If you've got a small pillow, place it right in the crooks of your back there so you can support yourself. I'd like you to sit up a little bit. If you notice that you've been sitting into your back body, sit up, palms up or palms down. And I'm going to come towards you because I want us to make sure we get some breathing. And today I have, a little something. So in my classes, typically, I usually read a great quote, a book, not a whole book, but like something funny or something interesting that really is fantastic. So I just bought these. Okay, these are cards, and they're from Pema Chodron, and she teaches mindfulness, and I like the cards. And I looked at the cards and I thought, what would be appropriate for this class? The cards are beautiful. They have a little something written on the front and on the back. You do not need to buy these cards. You don't need to buy a thing. But I thought this would be a great place for us to start today as we sit and breathe. This particular card says, examine the nature of unborn awareness. You can't hear me? No? Oh, you can hear me now? Okay, I can see the thumb
I think
up.
we can hear you, yeah.
Okay, I think Mrs. Torcato was telling me that she had a little trouble for a moment, but she gave me the thumbs up. Perfect. Okay, good. So this card says, examine the nature of unborn awareness. I opened this up this morning. Well, I just got them last night. They came in the mail. I opened that up this morning and I thought, oh, I can breathe on that this morning. And on the other side, it says, look at your mind. And I like that she says that. Look at your mind. At just simple awareness itself. Examine does not mean analyze. So everyone take a breath for a moment. Examine what's on your mind without judgment or criticism, and just breathe. Relax on your exhale breath. When you know you're ready, take a full breath in through the nose, maybe beginning to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Sigh out that breath. I would invite you to bring your hands to your heart for a moment, because it's such a great time to really thank our own bodies, really sending a message to our bodies that we're grateful for the work that our bodies have done for us. And this is not an opportunity to criticize or judge or to start thinking of all the things you might want to do for your body, but instead a real decision to come to a place of gratitude. And then maybe thinking of those people whom you love and adore. And I personally believe that energy is felt. So when someone sends good energy, it's well received. So send out some good energy just by placing in your mind's eye those people who are so important to you. Or someone in the world, somewhere in the world, I like to say, someone is saying, I need some love or compassion or kindness. And if you have a little extra, just send it out. It'll find its way. And take a breath when you're ready. I feel like energized. I don't know. This morning, I feel like, woo! I don't have anywhere to go. I've got to study all day. But see, this is like, seriously, this is important for me. I'm here because I need to be here. The universe knows I need to be here with you because I need to be amongst a wonderful group. I'm going to turn to the side. Eugenia, I've seen you through the whole class, and Gail and the Torcados, good morning. I'm going to see who else I see in the gallery. Gloria, good morning, and Judy and Carol, of course. Dawn, good morning, I see you. Tiu's iPhone, I see you as well. Debbie with the beautiful harp. I would never impose, but if ever you feel like strumming along and telling me to be quiet, I will be happy to do so. Aldana, Judy, and Margaret. I'm going to leave that screen and go back to the other. Thank you all for joining, and happy Thursday morning to you, or afternoon to you. May the energy of the sun shine down on us and bless us all, right? With all of its healing energy, the light, it's so good. Even if you just go to that window, like I say every week, and you just put your face up and just pretend the sun is shining on you, that is good for mental wellness.
Thank you so much, Kristeen.
Thank you, Daniel. Thank you so much.
If
you, everyone.
If folks get the chance today to go outside, even for a walk, I was out this morning and you can start to smell the earth, which is a pleasant change. So yeah, try to go out there and just, being able to smell something other than frozen earth is very, very nice, very welcoming.
Thank you, Daniel. I love that. I will definitely.
Bye, everyone. Oh, sorry.
I was just saying thank you to the town of Oakville. Thank you.
Don't be silly. We're so happy to have you, Kristeen. I feel so fortunate that we get to share you every week with those who are willing to attend. So thanks, everyone. And like I always say, bring a friend next time.
Thank you all.
Bye, everyone.